नमस्ते, म विष्णु राउत हजुरहरूलाई स्वागत गर्न चाहन्छु कानुन सारथी युट्युब च्यानलमा। आजको भिडियो मैले ओरिएन्टेसन एन्ड करियर काउन्सिलिङको बारेमा रहनेछ। यो भिडियो विशेष गरी +2 पास गरेका, भर्खरै 12को इक्जाम दिने तयारीमा रहनुभएका तमाम भाइ बहिनीहरूको लागि एकदम महत्त्वपूर्ण हुन्छ भन्ने मैले आशा लिएको छु। +2 पश्चात बिए एलएलबी कुन कुन ठाउँमा गएर पढ्ने, कस्तो कलेजमा गएर पढ्ने र यो विषय पढ्दा के कुरामा ध्यान दिने, यसको इन्ट्रान्समा उत्कृष्ट नम्बर ल्याउनको लागि कसरी तयारी गर्ने भन्ने बारेमा केन्द्रित रहनेछ। यो सामग्री बनाउने बेलामा मलाई सहयोग गर्नुहुने CEO एन्ड फाउन्डर अफ डिजर इन्स्टिट्युट अफ लका सर विकास गुप्ताजीलाई म हृदयदेखि नै आभार व्यक्त गर्न चाहन्छु। र आजको यो भिडियो हजुरहरूलाई कस्तो लाग्छ, के लाग्छ, सो बारेमा पनि कमेन्ट गरिदिनु होला र सुरुदेखि अन्तिमसम्म हेरेर साथ दिनुहुन्छ भन्ने मैले विश्वास लिएको छु।
ल, डिजुरे इन्स्टिट्युट अफ ल एन्ड लिगल अफेयर्सद्वारा आयोजित आजको यस ओरिएन्टेसन एन्ड करियर काउन्सिलिङ अन ल कार्यक्रमको निम्तोलाई स्वीकार गरेर यस भर्चुअल जुम सेसनमा जोडिनुभएका साथै यस कार्यक्रमलाई डिजुरे इन्स्टिट्युट अफ ल पासपोर्ट टु बिए एलएलबी र बिए एलएलबी इन्ट्रान्स को फेसबुक पेजबाट हामीलाई लाइभ हेरिरहनुभएका सम्पूर्ण न्यायिक प्रेमी मनहरूलाई बिए एलएलबी प्रथम सेमेस्टर नेपाल ल क्याम्पसमा अध्ययनरत म दिपेश अर्याल मेरो व्यक्तिगत तथा डिजुरे इन्स्टिट्युट अफ लको तर्फबाट सन्ध्याकालीन न्यायिक नमन प्रकट गर्दै यस कार्यक्रममा स्वागत गर्न चाहन्छु। मेरो भोइस आइरहेछ?
क्यारी अन गर्नुस् तपाई। ठीक छ, पर्फेक्ट छ, सब थोक पर्फेक्ट छ।
च्याटमा तपाईको नेट प्रब्लम होला है। ओके, विगत 3 वर्षदेखि कानुनी शिक्षामा र कानुनी अनुसन्धानमा अहोरात्र समर्पित यस डिजुरे इन्स्टिट्युट अफ लले विगतका वर्षमा झैँ यस वर्ष पनि बिए एलएलबी इन्ट्रान्स प्रिपरेसन क्लास सञ्चालन गर्न गइरहेको छ। परिस्थिति असहजताका बावजुद पनि कानुनी शिक्षामा सबैको पहुँच होस् भन्ने मूल अठोट लिएको यस संस्थाले छोटो समयमा नै त्रिभुवन विश्वविद्यालयको कानुन संकायको बिए एलएलबी प्रवेश परीक्षामा सबैभन्दा धेरै सफल नतिजा ल्याएको कुरा तपाईहरू सबैलाई अवगत नै छ र त्यस्तै सफल नतिजाको अपेक्षा गर्दै यस वर्ष पनि हामी इन्ट्रान्स तयारी कक्षा सञ्चालन गर्न गइरहेका छौँ। अब फ्याक्ट स्पिक्स ट्रुथ भने जस्तै विगतको वर्षहरूमा हामीसँग केही डाटाहरू छ जसले चाहिँ के पनि प्रुभ गर्छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ हाम्रो इन्ट्रान्स तयारी कक्षा कतिको प्रभावशाली र कतिको सफल भयो। उदाहरणको लागि 2076 सालमा भएको नेपालका सम्पूर्ण विभिन्न ल कलेजहरूमा भएको इन्ट्रान्स परीक्षामा जस्तै लुम्बिनी बुद्धिस्ट युनिभर्सिटीमा 21 जना विद्यार्थीले डिजुरेमा पढेका विद्यार्थीले नाम निकाल्न सफल भएका थिए भने युनिभर्सिटी टपर पनि हाम्रै स्टुडेन्ट भएकी थिइन्। त्यसै गरी काठमाडौँ स्कुल अफ लमा 29 जना विद्यार्थीले नाम निकाल्न सफल भएका थिए भने त्यसमध्येको तेस्रो र्याङ्क होल्डर पनि डिजुरेकै स्टुडेन्ट रहेको थियो है। त्यसै गरी चक्रवर्ती हाबी ल कलेजमा 25 जना विद्यार्थीले नाम निकाल्न सफल भएका थिए जसमध्ये 5th र्याङ्क होल्डर पनि डिजुरेकै स्टुडेन्ट रहेको थियो है। त्यसै गरी काठमाडौँ युनिभर्सिटी स्कुल अफ लमा 9 जना स्टुडेन्टले विद्यार्थीले नाम निकाल्न सफल भएका थिए भने मिडवेस्टर्न युनिभर्सिटीमा सुर्खेतमा 11 जना विद्यार्थीले नाम निकाल्न सफल भएका थिए जस अन्तर्गत युनिभर्सिटी टपर पनि डिजुरेकै स्टुडेन्ट, डिजुरेमै तयारी गरेको स्टुडेन्ट रहेका थिए। यसै गरी त्रिभुवन विश्वविद्यालयको आङ्गिक क्याम्पस जस्तै नेपाल ल क्याम्पसमा 26 जना, नेसनल ल कलेजमा 27 जना र पृथ्वीनारायण क्याम्पस पोखरामा 9 जना गरेर सँगसँगै त्रिभुवन विश्वविद्यालयको ओभरअल परीक्षामा दोस्रो र्याङ्क होल्डर समेत डिजुरेमा अध्ययनरत भएको विद्यार्थीले र्याङ्क हासिल गर्न सफल भएका थिए। यसै गरी 2076 सालमा सम्पूर्ण ल कलेजहरूलाई एग्रिगेट गर्दाखेरि 148 जना टोटल विद्यार्थीले नाम निकाल्न सफल भएका थिए जो डिजुरेमा अध्ययनरत थिए। है। अब यो कार्यक्रमलाई अगाडि बढाइरहँदा मैले धन्यवादको पात्र दिनुपर्छ डिजुरे इन्स्टिच्युट अफ ललाई, जसले मलाई म पनि तपाईँ जस्तै पोहोर साल यही समयमा फिजिकल्ली ओरिएन्टेसन सुनिरहेको थिएँ। संयोगवश परिस्थितिको अनुकूल नभएको कारणले गर्दा आज हामी यसरी जोडिएका छौँ र हाम्रो निम्तालाई स्वीकारेर हामी कहाँ अतिथिहरू पनि आउनु भएको छ। अतिथि वक्ताहरू आफ्नो कार्य व्यस्तताका बावजुद पनि आफ्नो समयलाई मध्यनजर गरेर हामीलाई समय दिनुभएको छ। हामी उहाँप्रति कृतज्ञ छौँ र कार्यक्रमलाई अगाडि बढाइरहँदा म परिचय खण्डमा अगाडि बढ्न चाहन्छु। परिचयको लागि आजको हाम्रो कार्यक्रममा हामीले विशेष वक्ताहरूलाई निमन्त्रणा गरेका छौँ। हामीसँग हुनुहुन्छ पृथ्वीनाथ राई सुब्बा सर हुनुहुन्छ। उहाँ चाहिँ लेक्चरर हुनुहुन्छ, अथर पनि हुनुहुन्छ र छुटाउनै नहुने कुरा उहाँ गोल्ड मेडलिस्ट हुनुहुन्छ संवैधानिक कानुनमा र यो हाम्रो लागि एकदम सौभाग्यको कुरो पनि हो। हामीले उहाँबाट आज थप विशेष प्रेरणा र उहाँको ज्ञानमा केही सिक्ने मौका पाउनेछौँ। यसै गरी हामीसँग हुनुहुन्छ दीपक सिलवाल सर हुनुहुन्छ। उहाँ अहिले हाल नेपाल ल क्याम्पसमा अध्यापन गराइरहनु भएको छ। साथसाथै आशीर्वाद कलेज, त्यसै गरी सुप्रिम कलेज र सिटिजन कलेजमा व्यावसायिक कानुनको पनि अध्यापन गराइरहनु भएको छ। यसै गरी आज हामीसँग हुनुहुन्छ मोहनराज जोशी दाई हुनुहुन्छ। अब पोहोर साल भेट पनि भएको हो मेरो। मोहनराज जोशी दाई पनि हुनुहुन्छ। उहाँ कानुन अधिकृतको रूपमा मिनिस्ट्री अफ इन्टरनल अफेयर्स सुदूरपश्चिम प्रदेशमा अहिले कार्यरत हुनुहुन्छ। उहाँ एलएलएम टियु सेकेन्ड टपर हुनुहुन्छ। मैले दीपक सरलाई छुटाउन नहुने कुरो अर्को पनि छ। दीपक सर हाम्रो टियु टपर हुनुहुन्छ, एलएलएम गोल्ड मेडलिस्ट 2070 र 72 को। यो कुरा मैले छुटाउन मलाई न्यायोचित हुँदैन। त्यसै गरी हामीसँग अपेक्षा निरौला दिदी पनि हुनुहुन्छ। अपेक्षा निरौला दिदी एडभोकेट हुनुहुन्छ, मानव अधिकार कर्मी हुनुहुन्छ, निरन्तर कानुनी अनुसन्धान र खोजमा लागि परिरहनु भएको छ। हामीले उहाँबाट पनि आज धेरै कुराहरू सिक्नेछौँ। र हामीसँग हुनुहुन्छ प्रपोसा केसी दिदी हुनुहुन्छ। उहाँ एडभोकेट हुनुहुन्छ। उहाँले चाहिँ एलएलएम नर्थ वेस्टर्न युनिभर्सिटी सिकागो अमेरिकामा फुल स्कलरसिपमा गर्नुभएको भर्खरै अध्यापन सक्नु भएको छ र अहिले लिटिगेसनको क्षेत्रमा प्रवेश पनि गरिसक्नु भएको छ। हामीसँग त्यसै गरी हसिना लामिछाने दिदी पनि हुनुहुन्छ। हसिना लामिछाने दिदी अहिले प्र्याक्टिसिङ लयर हुनुहुन्छ। +2 कलेजहरूमा अध्यापन पनि गराइरहनु भएको छ र छुटाउनै नहुने कुरा उहाँ बिएएलएलबी, जसको लागि आज हामी खटेर तपाईँहरूलाई बोलाएर ओरिएन्टेसन दिइरहेको छौँ। बिएलएलबीको चाहिँ होल 5 इयरमा गोल्ड मेडलिस्ट हुनुहुन्छ। 2018 अब ब्याच 18 ब्याचको गोल्ड मेडलिस्ट हुनुहुन्छ र 26औं बार इक्जाममा सेकेन्ड र्याङ्क होल्डर पनि हुनुहुन्छ। हामी भाग्यमानी छौँ। उहाँबाट आज ओरिएन्टेसन क्लास लिन पाउनेछौँ। हामीसँग अमिता शर्मा दिदी पनि हुनुहुन्छ। अमिता शर्मा दिदी भर्खर मैले देखिरहेको थिएँ, भिडियो अफ गर्नुभएछ। अमिता शर्मा दिदी अहिले एडभोकेसी गरिरहनु भएको छ, कानुनी खोज अनुसन्धानमा लागि पर्नु भएको छ। यो खुसीको कुरो पनि हो। हामीसँग यसै गरी दीक्षा रावत दिदी पनि हुनुहुन्छ। दीक्षा रावत दिदी अहिले ल प्र्याक्टिस गरिरहनु भएको छ। सँगसँगै उहाँले बधाई पनि दिनुपर्छ। उहाँले चिभिनिङ अवार्ड 2020 र 2021 को चिभिनिङ अवार्डले विभूषित पनि हुनुभएको छ। यो निकै नै राम्रो कुरा। उहाँलाई म व्यक्तिगत रूपमा बधाई पनि दिन चाहन्छु। यसै गरी हामीसँग दिपेश खनाल दाई हुनुहुन्छ। दिपेश खनाल दाई अहिले नेपाल सरकारको कानुन अधिकृतको रूपमा कार्यरत हुनुहुन्छ। उहाँको बारेमा छुटाउनै नहुने कुरा, उहाँले लोकसेवा आयोगको कानुन क्षेत्रको कानुनी सेवामा 3रो नम्बरमा नाम निकाल्न सफल हुनुभएको थियो 2075 सालमा र हाल उहाँ नेपाल सरकारको लागि कानुन अधिकृतको रूपमा कार्यरत हुनुहुन्छ। र हाम्रो आजको अन्तिम वक्ता हुनुहुन्छ समृद्ध खरेल दाई हुनुहुन्छ। उहाँ चाहिँ हाल नेपाल ल क्याम्पसमा 5औं वर्षमा बिएलएलबी अध्ययनरत हुनुहुन्छ र दाईको कुरा गरिरहँदा दाईले चाहिँ कानुनी खोज अब पिआइएलको कुराहरूदेखि गरिरहनु भएको छ। त्यसै बिगिन ल जुन बिएलएलबी इन्ट्रान्स प्रिपेरेसनको लागि एउटा कोसे ढुङ्गा जस्तो एउटा किताब लेख्नु भएको छ, अथर हुनुहुन्छ। उहाँले पुस्तक लेखेर पनि उहाँले कानुनी क्षेत्रमा कानुनी शिक्षामा चाहिँ उल्लेखनीय रूपमा योगदान पुर्याइराख्नु भएको छ। त्यसै गरी आज हामीसँग टोटलमा 10 जना वक्ता हुनुहुन्छ। हामीसँग समय छोटो छ। अब हामीले सोध्नुपर्ने कुराहरू एकदमै धेरै पनि छन् र त्यसलाई चाहिँ मध्यनजर गर्दै हामीले टाइम मिलाएर लैजान्छौँ भन्ने आशा गरेका छौँ र आजको कार्यक्रम एकदमै सफल होस् भन्ने कामना गर्दै यस परिचय पश्चात यो कार्यक्रमलाई औपचारिक रूपमा अगाडि बढाउनु पूर्व मैले अघि केही नियमहरू तपाईँहरूलाई भने, जस्तै सकेसम्म तपाईँले भिडियो अन गरिराख्नु होला। त्यसले गर्दा हामीलाई चिन्न सजिलो हुन्छ, इन्टरेक्सन गर्न सजिलो हुन्छ। र दोस्रो खण्डमा, यो पहिलो खण्डमा हाम्रो अतिथि वक्ताहरूले कुराहरू राखिसकेपछि हाम्रो दोस्रो खण्डमा हामीले इन्ट्रोडक्सन सेसन हुन्छ। सुने मात्र त पुग्दैन, हाम्रो मन लागेको कुराहरू पनि केही सोध्ने मौका हुनसक्छ, जसको लागि चाहिँ ह्यान्ड रेज गर्ने म अनम्युट गरिदिन्छु अथवा हाम्रो होस्ट दाइहरूले अनम्युट गरिदिनुहुन्छ र हामी इन्ट्रोडक्सनलाई चाहिँ एकदमै डिसिप्लिन वेमा लैजान्छौँ है। र अब कार्यक्रमलाई ढिला नगरिकन म हाम्रो वक्ताहरूबाट नै सुनौँ। म बिचबिचमा बोलि नै रहनेछु। हाम्रो वक्ताहरूबाट म जान चाहे, हाम्रो सबैभन्दा पहिला हुनुहुन्छ पृथ्वीनाथ राई सुब्बा सर हुनुहुन्छ। उहाँले आज हामी माझ अपर्च्युनिटी अफ लिगल एजुकेसन इन नेपाल एन्ड अब आफ्नो पर्सनल एक्सपिरियन्स पनि भन्नुहुन्छ। र लिगल एजुकेसनको क्षेत्रमा, कानुनी अध्यापन शिक्षाको क्षेत्रमा उहाँ लामो समयदेखि लागि परिरहनु भएको छ। यसपछिको माइक मैले सरलाई हस्तान्तरण गरेँ र आफूलाई अनम्युट गरेँ। सर, फ्लोर इज योर्स। पृथ्वीनाथ सर सुन्दै हुनुहुन्छ? अघि विकास दाई, माझी दाई।
हजुर हजुर, म पृथ्वीनाथ सरलाई अनम्युट गर्छु। सर, हेलो।
Thank you. Good evening, all of you. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
So it's my great pleasure to see you all here in this webinar interaction. The special thank goes to all the De Jure Institute of Law and Legal Affairs. As far as I know, that this institute is considered one of the pioneering institute, giving maximum opportunities to the students, those who are willing to study BA LLB. Either it is under Tribhuvan University or Purvanchali University or Midwestern University or any other university throughout the country. So this is the great thing. As I have been provided to express about the idea of opportunity of legal education in Nepal. It's very wonderful because as you are already, you have been speaking about this legal education in Nepal has been very booming stage so far as your institution, your reputation, your name, and then the students, their participation, their involvement, their desire is concerned. So going through the history of legal education, there are many speakers, they might highlight about this. From my side, if I have to speak of about legal education and its opportunity in Nepal, nowadays our country has entered into federalism, and there are different, level of legal committee, judicial committee, either it is local levels, federal level, or provincial levels. While telling like this, if we go through the idea of legal educations, let alone in the context of our Nepal, even beyond this, if you go through globally, we find many people, many eminent scholars or the leaders who are considered to have been prolific leaders, great leaders like Barack Obama, like Abraham Lincoln, Bill Clinton, or we can say Mahatma Gandhi, okay, similarly, so many scholar figures, either it is George Washington, okay, to US President, first, second, third, fourth, up to 8th, 9th, if you go through that, we find their history are from legal education, and they are from law background. That's why they gave, they gave idea, pioneering idea in the context of let alone legal educations, even drafting the first constitution in the world. The first constitution in the world after Philadelphia Conference 1787, when that got drafted and that came into force in 1789, that is the first drafted constitution in the world. Still, it is with a different amendment we can see the history of constitutionalism in the world. Having gone through that, if we see that, the legal history, in the context of our country as well, from 2004, 2007, okay, and 2015, 2019, 2047, 63 to this, prevailing constitution is concerned, the contribution made by legal scholar, we cannot give a go by. That's very historical, and that's very best benchmark. That's why legal education nowadays, nowadays is not the like other stream or the other discipline. This legal education and legal stream is considered as a cash business like. People, they used to think this legal education is not like that sort of education as we think, like doctor, engineer, or pilot, or any other one. Having chosen those stream and those faculty, they used to come to choose legal education. But time has changed. Nowadays, people they like choosing the special subject. First of all, if they have to choose, it's not other than any other stream and disciplines other than the legal discipline. So far as this, is dominant, and it is influencing, is aura, is gaze, is purview, is real, day by day, double by day, and 4 times by night. It's going on throughout the nation and throughout the globe. That's why it's considered as a very special subject. That's why people are coming over here. It's very wonderful. So in our time, the legal education, there was not as such facilities and advantages like you people have today. You are going through different sort of facilities, okay, as we are going through this webinar discussion in today's day. And similarly, we are going through different kind of discussions, different technicalities, different, AI intelligence, and so many resources, and you are so resourceful. Lacking all those things also, we used to involve in a like cram learning and traditional learning. Today's learning is very different. It's a Socratic method. There is interactive system of learning, two-way system of learning. Student center of learning is available. That's why law subject has been it has been the center of attraction to all the people, those who like to do something great in their life, those who have big goal in life, those who want to discharge as their contribution as a social activist. They like choosing this subject. So this subject is not easy subject. If you see the most expensive subject, if we count, or if we evaluate, or if we ask anybody, then if the person is conversant with the trend, if the person is conversant with the system, they will say it is not other than the law discipline. Harvard University is well-known university in the world. So Harvard University is, known. It is well-known. It is famous. Why? Because there is a law subject. It's very expensive, very talented, very selected, very genius students are given opportunity over there for the study. Otherwise, they will be disqualified. So trend has been changed nowadays. So it's not like that, people, those who are very weak, those are very lazy, okay, they can choose this subject. People, those who are very brilliant, students, those who are very genius, hardworking, workaholic, they like choosing law subject and they can do much more thing in their life. So this subject concerns different sort of, disciplines. It is, like social, private, public, regional, national, international, different sort of spheres of life, qualities of life, philosophy of life are connected in law subject. That's why there is golden opportunity choosing law subject. You are considered to have been the role model, because law is such a place or such a destination where all the actions is. You can grapple with the different sort of difficulties, obstacles, and barriers, and find the solution and pick up with the golden opportunity and go ahead giving justice to the people living in the society at large. That's why those who choose law subject, they are extraordinary. They are hardworking, they are laborious, they are genius, they are benevolent. That's why the famous leader of the world, be it Mahatma Gandhi, be it B.P. Koirala, Lakshmi Prasad, that cut in the context of our country. As I told you, Abraham Lincoln, and so many, even Xi Jinping, and many other leaders, famous leaders around the world. If you see their background, if you see, they have been through the legal philosophy. That's why they have given direction, dimension to the society and country. What's the rule of law? What will happen if we do not follow rule of law? What will happen if the country is ruled by mob? If country is ruled by law in place of rule of law, there is difference between rule of law and rule by law and rule by mob. Anarchism, despotism, fascism, czarism, feudalism, any oligarchism, fighting against all those, evilism. Democracy is the most. And for democracy, liberty, freedom, happiness, and pursuit of happiness, American Declaration, Independence Declaration, 1776 is always witness. It's a global revolution. Through what? The way of democratization, civilization, life, liberty, and happiness, pursuit of happiness that took place. As a result, the American Constitution got drafted and came into force. Still it is there. The most democratized, most liberated, most the values, rule of law, constitutionalism, all those things accompanying with, accommodated, enshrined within this, it is still considered role model. Similarly, concept, Magna Carta, Bill of Magna Carta 1215, Bill of Rights 1688, Glorious Revolution. Similarly, so many French Revolution 1789, and coming to Nepal, thus concept of constitutionalism before Vedic values, before pre-constitutional values. If we go through this, that concept of the first Government Act of Nepal of 2004, 2007, 2015, see the history, how people, they have revolutionized and got the, the most reformed constitution, most democratized constitution coming to this level. And this constitution is considered as a most role model constitution. Still, there are still some interest, some will of the people are not found to have been incorporated. That's why people, they are fighting against this constitution as well. And it's not possible. That's why constitution is considered a living document. It will get changed as time changes, as society changes, law gets changed. So it goes accordingly. So this is what is the concept of law, and this sort of concept and legal education. If until and unless we have, until and unless we get imbibe this, then we will not be able to discuss about our right, about our liberty, about our freedom, about our different sort of private, public, social, economic, different kind of cultural, right? Different types of values which are supposed to be embodied by us for right to live with dignity is concerned. So these sort of things are possible when you are law student. That's why law students and lawyers, they are considered as social engineers. They are engineer of engineers. We are going through the COVID-19, right? There are havocing situation. People are going hither and thither, hustle and bustle, everywhere, tussle and tussle, different types of
I'm very
things are
sorry
going on.
to
So this sort of thing gets
you have 2
changed
minutes to conclude.
until and unless there is social engineer. So social engineers are lawyers, lawmakers, law students, de jure students. So you have to do this. And it's not that you are coming here for the sake of earning money. As I told you, this is, like some of them are speaking just before as it's like a cash education than any other education. Of course it is. Many people, those have been highly, educated, they are earning more than 30,000 per month under UN, those who are in a law field. See, it is possible, right? Everywhere. There is, opportunity in different levels, but you are not coming for the levels. Even there is no money, even if there is no facilities, even there is scarcity, but as a law student, you will be fighting for justice every day. So this ought to be our motto. That's why, goddess of justice is always blindfolded. And in this connection, if we make our mind and come for these, educations, so you all are welcome, and you will know more than me. When you know rule, regulation, ethic, morality, everything, what will happen? You will get improved yourself, your teacher, your pedagogue, your professor, your lecturer will tell you, and you will make a tally into your day-to-day life, private life, public life, family life, social life, cultural life, every life. And then you will have highest virtue of understanding. And don't you come for the law study? Where the hell? If you don't come for the legal study, then we should come. Though other subjects are
sorry to interrupt. You can wrap, sir.
Yeah,
we can wrap now. We have time bound. We have time bound, sir.
There are many things to be expressed, John. When I'm coming to the climax, my time is not there. That's why we have to be subrogated by newcomers. Perpetual succession is a must. That's why your presence is a must. Like you, new people, new generation is a must. That's why you all are welcome. And the way this de jure law institute is doing nowadays is a very wonderful job. as up to you all the entire team of De Jure Institute of Law and Legal Affairs. Thank you, all of you. Thank you for calling me, inviting me, and giving me to express my few words, and I couldn't incorporate all those things within limited time, though I tried my level best to encapsulate. I think other speakers may incorporate all those important things. Thank you all. Thank you.
Wonderful. Very thanks to Prithivi sir. He was like very blitzkrieg सुरुको पहिलो प्रस्तुति नै एकदमै धमाका आयो सरबाट सरले एकदम भित्रै जोसमा आउनुभयो बोल्दा बोल्दै सो द्याट इज वाट एडभोकेसी फेज त्यो हामी फेजमै छौँ अब न्यू कमर्सहरू भर्खर इनिसिएट गर्दै हुनुहुन्छ सो हेडिङ टुवर्ड्स नेक्स्ट विदाउट वेस्टिङ एनी टाइम्स म दोस्रो वक्ता अतिथि वक्ताको रूपमा बोलाउन चाहन्छु यु वुड लभ इट I guarantee. He is Deepak Silwal sir. हामीलाई मलाई पनि पढाउनुहुन्छ ल क्याम्पसमा. He's like teacher, brother, guardian, whatever. You would know, हैन? आइसकेपछि ल क्याम्पस आइसकेपछि you would know. Sir, floor is yours. You can proceed. We have time bound too. I know you will understand that, but anyway.
Okay, fine. Thank you very much, Deepesh. I would like to welcome you, first of all, say good evening and welcome you all in today's session, which has been organized by De Jure Institute of Law, one of the pioneer institute in the entrance preparation classes. First of all, I would like to say thanks to Prithvinath Rai sir for such a wonderful deliberation. That was awesome. I think it was a highly spirited, motivational speech too. Which I hope that all my junior newcomer students may be benefited from his deliberation. But and next thing is that the topic that given to me is that as a student, law student, while you all are preparing for the examination, then how you have to prepare in the examination, how you have to write down the answers in the examination. It would have been best if this session was kept at the end of the class. At the end of the class, when you have all completed all the knowledge in the institute, and at the time when you are going to prepare in the examination, then it would have been better. But don't worry, I will repeat this session, repeat this class in detail, thoroughly at the end of the in your classes at the institute. But from the very beginning, how we have to start writing best in the examination begins before appearing from the examination. So I have prepared one small slide, and that you will be provided from the institute too. But right now, if you have a pen and the copy, then you can just note down the main points and the bullets. I have prepared in the bullet form. Hope it will be beneficial for you. Without delay, I would like to start my presentation, and it is the heading of the presentation is how we can master our writing skill during examination. If you follow these steps, then definitely it will be helpful for you. And the writing skills in the examination, I have divided into 3 different sections. First section is before entering into the examination hall, before appearing the examination, before writing the papers. And the second section, I will deal during how you are going to write the papers, answer sheets. That will be the second section. And at the last, what are the things that you should consider making your writing looking better? Okay, the content, not about the content, how your writing, your paper looks smart and good looking. So there are 3 sections that I would like to deal with you all guys. So I would like to start my presentation. I will request to Vikas to allow me to share the screen. Can I share the screen, Deepesh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can.
Okay, fine. Okay, are you viewing on the screen, all of you? All of you? Okay. Because are you viewing? Deepesh, are you viewing on the screen?
Yes, sir. Please,
Yes,
please
sir.
proceed for.
Yes, sir. You can
Proceed.
proceed.
Okay. As I have already mentioned, you guys, this skill, writing skill, law entrance examination or law exam writing skills that you should cover, you should focus in 3 sections, as I have already mentioned. The first section is before appearing in the exam or writing answers in the answer sheet. That is the first section A that I would like to deal. And the second one is that some of the tips that you have to follow during writing answers in the answer sheet. And third one, A, B, and the C. How you can make your answer sheet beautiful, looking beautiful, okay, beautifying your answer sheet. So I would like to deal in 3 sections very shortly and precisely and specifically. No elaboration, no more explanation. Just specifically, I would like to mention what are the steps that you have to follow while appearing the examination, before examination, during the examination, writing the exam papers, and after after finishing of the paper. Okay, these three are the sections. So first of all, whenever examination, no matter is in exam in transcription or the exam subject matter in the BLB first semester, second semester, no matter whatever be the examinations, okay, first of all, you should go through the syllabus very carefully. The syllabus, the content, what you have to read in examination, that you have to keep in your mind. That is the first tip for all of you. Unless and until you are aware about the syllabus, you cannot prepare for your examination. That is the first tip. And the second one, you have to go through the past exam question papers. Old is gold. That's what we used to say. Old is gold. Okay. Past questions, how the question used to be asked in the earlier semester examination, earlier entrance examination. So these 2 tips are you have to follow before preparing for the examination. Syllabus plus old is gold, earlier questions. Okay, these 2 are the first tips. And the third one, when you enter the exam hall, and when you see the question papers, no matter it's entrance preparation or the subject exam or in the board examination, first terminal class test, whatever be the examinations, okay, you have to read the questions and instructions given there very carefully. What is the full marks? What are the alternative questions that you have to choose? And what are the questions? You have to read the questions very carefully. There may be some errors in the question paper, some spellings, some words maybe that could not be understandable for you. So that first of all, you have to read the questions and the instructions given over the question paper very carefully. Just allocate at least 5 minutes before writing. Just go through the paper, answer sheet, question paper for the 5 minutes, at least 5 minutes. You go through all the questions one by one. Then after knowing the questions, what has been asked in the examination, then start writing. Okay. So before examination, you have to go for 3 things: syllabus, earlier question papers, and then reading the question paper before writing in the exam hall. These 3 is the first A section tips. Okay, that is the first one. Now I would like to proceed again in the next step. Tips during writing answers in the answer sheet. When you are going to write answers in the answer sheet, there are also some of the tips that you should follow. If you follow these tips, then it will be no more any difficulty for you all for giving your best examination. Okay, whether it's entrance preparation or whether it's board examination, it's class test, no matter whatever may be the examination. So second section, I would like to deal regarding tips during writing answers in the answer sheet after reading the question paper. Okay, then here you have to follow 3 rules. Okay, I have mentioned 3 rules: be efficient, be effective, and be simple and easy. Okay, there is 1, 2, and 3. Be simple, easy, and brief. So these 3 are the tips while writing the examination paper, while you are going to solve the answers question papers. Okay, so first one, be efficient means from which question you have to start. Remember this thing very carefully. most of the students used to do mistake in starting the answer sheet. Okay, writing the answers. You should be very efficient. It means तपाईहरु सबैजना कुशल हुनुपर्छ. कुशल भन्न खोजेको के त भन्दाखेरि whenever you are going to write answers, you have three choices. Okay, you have three choices. Number one, either you start the writing the answers of the questions which you know very well. That is the first alternative for you all. Second alternative is write the answers which has higher scores. For example, 20 marks question, 10 marks question, or 5 marks question, if the question has been allocated in this way. So second, you can choose either you have to start from the marks that has higher number, means 20 marks question, because it takes lots of times to write. So, and it will carry higher grades, so you can earn higher points in that question. Okay, so that is the second alternative. Either you choose the question which you know very easily, you feel very comfortable writing the answers, or you choose the answer which has, you choose the question which has greater value, greater score. Or you have also third option, you can also attempt answers as according to the serial. Question number 1 attempting first, question number attempting 2, question number 3, you can go serially. If you ask me, sir, among these three alternatives, which one we have to choose? Then I suggest, as you know, I have underlined already there. So we have to start writing the answer of that question which we can deliver best. So if you deliver in that way, then the examiner will say, oh, he has perfect answer in this question. So that the first impression will be very positive towards the examiner. So I suggest you can choose any one of the alternative, but I suggest start attempting the question that you can answer very effectively. So choose to answer those questions first where you know the subject matter well, and answer the questions later which are difficult for you. This is the best option I suggest. That is being efficient. This is the point. Being efficient. कुशल लेखक, कुशल चाहिँ विद्यार्थी, जुन प्रश्नको उत्तर उसलाई पहिला आउँछ, त्यस जसमा उसले राम्रो उसले प्रदर्शन गर्न सक्छ, त्यो प्रश्नको उत्तर पहिल्यै गर्ने. That is the best one. And the second one, being effective, प्रभावकारी. So right answer, no matter whether it is long question, descriptive answer question, whether it is the essay, whether it is short answer question, no matter whatever be the questions, whenever you write, your answer should incorporate logical flow. You have to understand the word logical flow. It means you have to start from the introduction, then you have to end to the conclusion. Basically, there will be three parts in your answers. Okay, in each answer, your answer will be divided into three different sections. First one is the background section, introducing the concept, and second one is the dealing the explanation of those concepts of those questions, and finally concluding that question. I have given there an example. For example, if you are writing about write short note on law and its function in society, suppose if that was the question, okay, then how you have to arrange this logical flow? So first of all, you have to briefly introduce general meaning of law. Don't start directly from the definitions of someone jurist. Okay, first of all, you have to write down general meaning of the law. Then you can define law according to the definitions given by different jurists. Then you have to proceed only on the functions of the law. So this is the logical flow of the answer. This is one example I am giving you. Law and function, its function in the society. Then you have to deal first of all general definition, general meaning of the law, then specific meaning or the definition of the law given by different jurists. Then after then you have to go for the explanation regarding the function of the law, and at the last you have to conclude. So you have to follow this format. Don't forget this format. Background information, introducing the concept, some of the lines, some of the paragraph, and then you have to go for the body, main explanation section, and at the end, then you can go for the summarizing your answer, particular issue. In this way, given so many examples, we can conclude that. For example, if you are writing on the answer law and its function in the society, you can conclude it. So in my view, I would like to conclude that law is very, very important in our society to regulate the society, to control the society, and this is the purpose and the objective of society. So you can conclude in one or two sentences. So don't forget background, body, and the conclusion. And while explaining the points, you can add more information. So whatever information you provide, you have to provide the evidence too, because we are the student of the law. Without the evidence, your data will not be valid. So whenever you are going to write the sum of the new information, then you have to supply the evidence. Let's see example there. I have given two examples. For example, if you are going to give the information regarding the number of the prisoners that has been released from the Nepal government from the prison during the COVID-19 pandemic period, then you cannot just say that Nepal government has released around 410 prisoners from overcrowded prisons close to the nation. That will be insufficient. Okay, so you have to provide some evidence, some reference from where you have given those information. So I have underlined the words. You can see over there. According to the Department of the Prison Management, Ministry of Home Affairs, Nepal government has released around 410 prisoners from overcrowded prisons across the nation after the Supreme Court's order. And when was the order released? When was the order made by the Supreme Court? March 20. So you have to provide those additional information so that your information will be valid. Second example, while writing the function of the law, then you may have incorporated this information that the crime rate has been massively increasing. In just saying that in recent years, the crime rate has been massively increased, that will not be sufficient. Okay, guys. So you have to say how. According to the Women and the Children Directorate, Nirdeshanalaya, Mahila तथा बाल बालिका निर्देशनालय, नेपाल प्रहरी को तथ्याङ्क चाहिँ हामीले प्रस्तुत गर्दैछौँ. The rate of the rape cases is increasing rapidly. Then additional information in 2014, 71-72, 918 cases were registered, but in 2018, 2075-76, 2,230 rape cases were registered. So you have to always provide the evidence as far as possible. If you don't have the evidence, don't just simply write that the rate of the rape cases is increasing rapidly. How you came to know that information? You have to give the information. You have to give the information with the reference as far as possible. If you give the reference in this way, then you will, it's mathematics. Examination is mathematics. It means that you will get full marks. If it is 10, you will get 10 over 10. Because your writing is good, you have logical flow, then you have the reference given by whatever dealing the answers of the question. So that your examiner, the question what I am going to deal is that, Vikas has asked me that, sir, please supply the students to inform the student that what the examiner will seek from the students, examinees. So if I am the examiner, then I will seek that if just the information is mentioned there that the rate of the rape cases is increasing rapidly, then I will expect by what authority, by what source the examinee, the student is writing that information. So always think in mind, whenever you write the data, whenever you write the statistic, you should always give the reference as far as possible. Then if there are the statistic data with reference, perfect answer will be considered. Okay. And the third point, being effective. This is the point I am dealing with, effective. Be simple and brief, I want to say. I will always suggest my dear student, including all of my students, no matter BBS, BLLB, no matter which semester, that whenever you write the answers, that easily understandable language. Language, I mean to say, easily understandable words. So vocabulary should be simple vocabulary. Vocabulary लाई नेपालीमा भन्छ शब्दावली. तपाईले लेख्दाखेरि चाहिँ शब्दहरू सजिलो छनौट गर्नु होला. र चाहिँ के त भन्दाखेरि each statement within an answer should be easily understandable and brief. So short sentences, simple sentences. Why? Don't write long statements because it may cause loss of the attention and the interest for the examiner that ultimately lead to probability of the reduced marks. If you write long paragraph, long statements, paragraph wise paragraph, then examiner may feel, he may lose the attention of the reading the answers. So you have to be very simple and brief. So be efficient, be effective, and be simple. And the fourth one, we all know, you have already passed out a secondary level, higher secondary level, and you are just going to join the bachelor's level. So manage the time. And in managing the time, you should be very, very strict in this regard. It is not so that for the essay you can give 1 hour whole time, so that you will miss to attempt the other answers, other questions. So time management is very, very important. So number one, be efficient. Second one, be effective. Then third one is be simple and brief. Number fourth one is manage your time very strictly. And the last one is that write answers according to your marks. If it is a 20 marks question, then you have to give detailed answering. If it is 5 marks question, then write in short. Don't write more and more unnecessarily, so that your time will be killed. So writing answers according to your marks. So second section I have already dealt. Now short and sweet, within 5 minutes I will wrap up the third last section. Tips for beautifying your answer sheet. So neat and clean writing. Keep your answer sheet neat and clean with good handwriting. Avoid overwriting. Once you have written the answers, then don't write over the same wording to make it very clear. Use pencil if you need to cut something. If you wrote wrong answer, if you want to cross it, then use pencil. Don't use pen. Okay, just make a single cross over there. So neat and clean writing. And then second one is highlighting is very, very important. Background, underline, or you can say block letters. Then concept of law, block letters means, I mean to say capital letters, then you have to underline. So highlight and underline or use block letters for important points at heading. If you are going to write down the definition, then write down definitions of jurist, colon, dash, underline. Then in this way, you have to highlight important points. Functions of society, underline. Definition of law, underline. General meaning of law, underline. So in this way, you have to highlight or underline the major important points. And finally, in law, the diagrams are normally not used, but you can create your own flow chart, or you can create your own tables. If you are asked the question, write down the difference between substantive law and procedural law. Then you write down the difference between this school of jurisprudence and another school of jurisprudence. Then better you write down in tabular form, okay, in column form. In the left hand side, one topic, right hand side one issue. Then you can give bullets, and bullets you can give numbering, and then you can differentiate those two concepts. Okay, natural person, artificial person, substantive law, procedural law, in this way. So you can use the tables, you can use examples. Examples are must. Whenever you are going to give some, whenever you are going to write regarding any explanation regarding any topic, then you can enumerate some of the examples. For example, some of the laws that have been recently, promulgated. Then you can write down Muluki Civil Code 2074, Muluki Criminal Code 2074, then Muluki Civil Procedure Code 2074, Muluki Criminal Procedure Code 2074, etc. full stop like this. So you have to provide examples, diagrams, tables, wherever possible and necessary. So there are 3 different sections, as I have already dealt. I am wrapping up in 1 minute. So before examination, that is syllabus, then old is gold, earlier question papers. And while entering the example, when you receive the question paper, then you have to read the instructions and you have to read the question for 5 minutes. Then while appearing for the examination, you should be efficient, you should be effective, you should be simple and brief, you should manage your time, and you should write according to the marks. And finally, there are some of the tips that you beautify your writing means that then you should write in neat and clean handwriting. Then second one is that you have to highlight the major important points. Finally, if your question paper is, if your question requires some of the examples, if your question requires some of the diagrams, then provide examples and the diagrams tables wherever possible and necessary. Okay, this is all for writing how you are going to write your answer sheets in better way. So at the end of the session, at the end of the day, at the end of the your this coaching class, definitely I will elaborate more in this regard by examples. So I think it is beneficial for the initial point of view. So syllabus, I always used to say the students, syllabus and our year-old is gold question. These two are the basic requirement, two tools with the help of which you can succeed in any examination or any entrance examination. So in one side, syllabus, what are the content that I should learn, I should remember. And the second one is the which question has been asked in which year, this question has been asked in this year. So earlier question and the syllabus for the till date today. And after then 1 or 2 months, after 2 or 3 months, when you get all the knowledge regarding this entrance preparation, then at the end of the session, I will revise this session with examples so that it will be very, very beneficial for you. Okay, because I think it is enough, more than 10 minutes I took. Thank you very much. Okay.
Wonderful, sir. Thank you very much. Learning with sir is like never satisfying. The more you learn, the more you want. So very, very thankful. Thanks for Deepak Silva, sir. सरले इन्क्लुड गरेको कुराहरूलाई एकदम मनन गर्नु भनेपछि अल्टिमेटली तपाईहरुलाई चाहिने त यो वी आर आजको क्लास विशेष गरी ओरिएन्टेसन अब इन्ट्रान्स प्रिपरेसनको लागि भएको हुनाले गर्दाखेरि पनि यो कुराहरूलाई चाहिँ तपाईहरुले एकदमै ध्यान दिनुभयो भनेदेखि तपाईहरुको निश्चय पनि नाम निस्किन्छ. Let me make you more clear. We are aired on De Jure Institute of Law, Passport to BA LLB and BA LLB entrance. So this page we are aired on Facebook. So moving on to the next. हामीसँग हुनुहुन्छ मोहनराज जोशी दाइ हुनुहुन्छ, एकदमै आत्मीय दाइ हुनुहुन्छ. सो पोर्टलको समयमा म ठ्याक्कै यति बेलामै दाइसँग क्लास लिइरहेको थिएँ. अब अहिले म तपाईहरुलाई अब ओरिएन्टेसनमा मोडरेसन गरिरहेको छु. सो टाइम चेन्जेस. सो दाइलाई चाहिँ आजको सेसनमा चाहिँ सरकारी सेवामा अब कानुन दाइ सरकारी सेवामा भएकाले गर्दा पनि सरकारी सेवामा एक्सपिरियन्स कस्तो छ, इट्स लाइक एक्सपिरियन्स हियरिङ है. सो मोहनराज जोशी दाइ, द फ्लोर इज योर्स. विकास दाइ अनम्युट गरिदिनुहोस् न. ओके.
सुनिँदैछ है? सुनिँदैछ?
सुनिँदैछ दाइ.
सुनिरहेका चाहिँ ठिक छ?
ठिक छ दाइ.
सबैलाई नमस्कार. मेरो नाम मोहनराज जोशी. अब आज डे ज्युरे इन्स्टिट्युटले जुन चाहिँ ओरिएन्टेसन राखेको छ त्यसमा चाहिँ मलाई खास गरी यो बिएलएलबी पछाडि यसको सेक्टरमा चाहिँ यसको चाहिँ स्कोप के छ भन्ने बारेमा चाहिँ मलाई केही प्रस्तुति राख्नको लागि चाहिँ अनुमति छ. I don't want to complexify the things because of the time limitation and the very purpose of this orientation program. I want to put my experience, my views, and my understanding in a very simple way. So with due regard to our respected sir Deepak Silwal, and similar way Prithvi sir, and our friends Nirola ji and Arposa ji, and all other students who are connected with us through the technical and internet means. मैले अब यहाँहरूलाई चाहिँ त्यस्तो जटिल त्यस्तो चाहिँ कम्प्लेक्स कुराहरू त्यसो केही पनि प्रस्तुत गर्नु छैन आजको लागि चाहिँ। अब यहाँहरूले चाहिँ नेपाल ल क्याम्पसमा बिए एलएलबी पढ्ने जुन चाहिँ तीव्र इच्छा लिएर चाहिँ डिजिओर इन्स्टिट्युटसँग जोडिन आउनुभयो, पहिलो कुरा त एकदमै खुसीको कुरा छ। किनभने जसरी हाम्रो सेन्ट अगस्टाइनले भन्नुभएको छ, this world is a book, one who stays at home reads only one page of that book. तपाईहरु एटलिस्ट आफ्नो जहाँ हुनुहुन्थ्यो त्यहाँबाट बाहिर निस्किने कोसिस गर्नु भएको छ, चाहे इन्ट्रान्स प्रिपरेसनको लागि होस्, चाहे केही कुरा सिक्नको लागि होस्, चाहे इन्टरेक्सनको लागि होस्, यो आफैमा एकदमै पोजिटिभ छ। अब बिएलबी पछाडि हाम्रो स्कोप के हुने, हामीले पढेको एजुकेसनको स्कोप के हुने भन्दा यसमा चाहिँ म सिम्पल तरिकाबाट 8-10 वटा सेक्टरहरू म देख्छु। यसमा मैले यहाँहरूलाई कुनै स्क्रिन केही पनि कुरा सेयर गर्दिन, सिम्पली मैले मौखिक रूपमै व्यक्त गर्छु। पहिलो सबैभन्दा ठुलो, सबैभन्दा महत्त्वपूर्ण र सबैभन्दा मलाई लाग्छ डाइनामिक स्कोप भनेको एडभोकेसी नै हो। एउटा पहिलो कुरा त्यो नै हो, जहाँ चाहिँ प्राइभेट लयरको रूपमा अरू ल हुन्छ र आफै पनि ल फर्म दर्ता गरेर कानुन बमोजिम चाहिँ लिगल पेसामा लाग्न सक्नुहुन्छ, पहिलो कुरा। दोस्रो कुरा भनेको गभर्नमेन्ट सर्भिस हो। खास गरी मलाई चाहिँ यो एडभोकेसी बाहेक गभर्नमेन्ट सर्भिसमा कस्तो स्कोप छ भनेर चाहिँ प्रस्तुत गर्न कुराहरू भनिएको थियो। तर मलाई के लाग्छ भने एडभोकेसीलाई छोडेर गभर्नमेन्ट सर्भिसको स्कोपलाई मात्रै प्रेजेन्ट गर्नु भनेको चाहिँ हामीले चाहिँ लिगल एजुकेसन पछाडि हामीसँग भएको सम्भावनाको आधा सम्भावनालाई नकार्नु जस्तै हो। Means we are rejecting the 50% opportunities when we exclude the advocacy field. त्यो कुरा हो। त्यसकारण नेट पनि कमजोर छ। गभर्नमेन्ट सर्भिसको कुरा गर्नु पर्दा हामीले गभर्नमेन्ट सर्भिसमा पनि दुईटा ठाउँमा चाहिँ हाम्रो अवसरहरू देख्छौँ। यसलाई ब्रोडली चाहिँ भन्नुपर्दा पहिलो भनेको चाहिँ जस्तो पब्लिक सर्भिस कमिसन मार्फत यहाँहरूले चाहिँ गभर्नमेन्ट सर्भिस जोइन गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ, जुन चाहिँ पब्लिक सर्भिस कमिसनले एक्जाम लिन्छ। त्यसमा चाहिँ खास गरी जुडिसियल सर्भिस जोइन गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ, त्यसै गरी हाम्रो गभर्नमेन्ट एटर्नीको रूपमा चाहिँ काम गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ, र अर्को कुरा भनेको चाहिँ हाम्रो लिगल अफिसरको रूपमा चाहिँ नेपाल सरकारको डिफ्रेन्ट मिनिस्ट्रिजहरूमा र इभन प्रोभिन्सियल गभर्नमेन्टको पनि हाम्रो मिनिस्ट्रीमा चाहिँ जोइन गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ। यो एउटा अर्को अवसरको कुरा हो। त्यसरी गभर्नमेन्ट एटर्नीको रूपमा हाम्रो महाधिवक्ता कार्यालय मार्फत र मुख्य न्यायाधिवक्ता कार्यालय मार्फत चाहिँ रहेर चाहिँ काम गर्ने अवसर प्राप्त गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ। र अर्को गभर्नमेन्ट सर्भिसभित्र एउटा अर्को अवसर के हो भने नेपाल राष्ट्र ब्याङ्क जोइन गर्ने अवसरहरू आउँछ मास्टर्स गरिसकेपछि पनि, र एलएलबी छ यहाँसँग, र त्यसै गरी कमर्स म्यानेजमेन्टमा मास्टर्स छ भने एमबिए, एमबिएस, एमबिएम, त्यसरी एमएफसी यो डिग्रीहरू छ भने पनि अवसर आउँछ। एलएलएम गरेर पनि लिगल अफिसरको रूपमा नेपाल राष्ट्र ब्याङ्क जोइन गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ। त्यसै गरी हाम्रो कृषि विकास ब्याङ्क, एग्रिकल्चर डेभलपमेन्ट ब्याङ्क, त्यसै गरी नेपाल वाणिज्य ब्याङ्क, यसमा पनि यहाँहरूलाई अवसर छ। र एउटा अर्को अवसर भनेको चाहिँ जसरी हाम्रो अगाडि चाहिँ आदरणीय गुरु दीपक सिलवाल हुनुहुन्छ, लेक्चररको रूपमा त्रिभुवन युनिभर्सिटी, काठमाडौँ युनिभर्सिटी, त्यसै गरी पूर्वाञ्चल युनिभर्सिटी, लुम्बिनी बुद्ध युनिभर्सिटी, त्यसै गरी मिड वेस्टर्न युनिभर्सिटी लगायतका युनिभर्सिटीमा चाहिँ लेक्चररको रूपमा चाहिँ जोइन गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ। सँगसँगै त्यसै गरी हाम्रो प्राइभेट कलेजहरूमा र अन्य ठाउँमा पनि लेक्चररको रूपमा जोइन गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ। यो पनि एउटा राम्रो स्कोप छ। त्यसै गरी बिएलएलबी सकेपछि एलएलएम र त्यस पछाडिको स्टेटलाई कन्टिन्यू गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ। यो पनि आफैमा एउटा अर्को स्कोप हो। त्यस्तै प्राइभेट ब्याङ्कमा पनि लको स्टुडेन्टको स्कोप छ। प्राइभेट ब्याङ्कमा प्राइभेट ब्याङ्कहरू जोइन गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ। यो पनि एउटा अर्को राम्रो अवसर हो। त्यस्तै एउटा हामीले नेग्लेक्ट गरेको तर एउटा महत्त्वपूर्ण हाम्रो चाहिँ करियरको लागि एउटा अर्को क्षेत्र भनेको लिगल जर्नलिजम हो। आज म केही जर्नलिस्ट साथीहरूसँग कुरा गर्छु, कान्तिपुर, नागरिक लगायत अन्य मिडियाहरूमा काम गर्दै रहनु भएको र गरेर अन्य क्षेत्रमा काम गरिरहनु भएको, उहाँहरूले भन्नुहुन्छ कि कोर्टको अदालतको फैसलाको लिगल सेक्टरको रिपोर्टिङ गर्ने राम्रो नलेज भएको, सुझबुझ भएको चाहिँ जर्नलिस्ट चाहिँ एकदम कम हुनुहुन्छ त्यो सेक्टरमा भन्नुहुन्छ। त्यस कारणले गर्दा लिगल जर्नलिजम एउटा अर्को हाम्रो लागि स्कोप हो। रिसर्च र एकाडेमिक्स क्षेत्रमा लाग्न सक्नुहुन्छ, यो अर्को स्कोप हो। एनजिओ र आइएनजिओजहरूमा चाहिँ लिगल कन्सल्टेन्टको रूपमा, लिगल अफिसरको रूपमा, प्रोग्राम एसोसिएटको रूपमा पनि जोइन गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ, त्यो अर्को स्कोप छ। एउटा अर्को नेपालको संविधानले नै उल्लेख गरेको महत्त्वपूर्ण एकदमै राम्रो र हाम्रो पछिल्लो 2072 को नेपालको संविधानले दिएको अवसर भनेको चाहिँ यसको धारा 149(2) को ग मा एउटा एलएलबी, बिएलएलबी गरेर 8 वर्ष हाम्रो एडभोकेटको रूपमा काम गरिसकेको, त्यसै गरी लेक्चरको रूपमा काम गरेको, रिसर्च र यसको क्षेत्रमा काम गरेको मान्छेले चाहिँ 8 वर्ष पछाडि खुला प्रतिस्पर्धामा जम्मा खुल्ने पदहरूमध्ये 40% मा चाहिँ खुला प्रतिस्पर्धामा तपाईँ चाहिँ कम्पिट गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ। यो एउटा संविधानले नै दिएको बहुतै महत्त्वपूर्ण र एउटा नयाँ अवसर। त्यसै गरी इन्टरनेसनल हाम्रो इन्टर गभर्मेन्टल अर्गनाइजेसन्सहरूमा पनि अवसरहरू प्राप्त हुन्छन्। लगायतका अवसरहरू बिएलएलबी पश्चात हाम्रो बिएलएलबी ग्रेजुएट्सहरूलाई चाहिँ प्राप्त छन्। यो कुरा मैले एकदमै सिम्प्लिफाइड रूपमा चाहिँ यहाँहरू सामु राख्ने कोसिस गरेँ। अब नेपाल ल क्याम्पसमा जति पनि विद्यार्थी साथीहरू चाहिँ बिएलएलबी पढ्ने इच्छाले इन्ट्रान्स प्रिपरेसनको लागि आउनुभएको छ, यहाँहरूलाई एकदमै हाम्रो स्वागत छ। यो चाहिँ इन्ट्रान्स प्रिपरेसनमा जुन आउनुभएको छ, एउटा भनाइ छ, all peoples are equal but the best become the lawyers। तपाईहरु जुन चाहिँ ल पढ्ने चेष्टाले, ल पढ्ने इच्छा भित्रैदेखि जागेर इन्ट्रान्स प्रिपरेसनको लागि जुन आउनु भएको छ, तपाईहरु बेस्ट मध्येको पनि बेस्ट बन्ने इच्छाले आउनु भएको छ। यो आफैमा राम्रो कुरा हो। एउटा अर्को पनि तपाईहरुलाई म एउटा सिम्पल तर ठुलो अवसरको बारेमा यहाँहरुलाई बताउँछु। त्यो के भने, जस्तो हामी जब एउटा सामान्य गेम खेल्छौं, त्यसैगरी हामी कुनै म्याच खेल्छौं, त्यसमा चाहिँ हामीले जित्यौं भने केही कुरा प्राप्त गर्छौं, हार्यौं भने मेहनत खेर जान्छ, केही पनि कुरा हामी प्राप्त गर्दैनौं। एउटा सामान्य नियम पनि हो। तर तपाईहरुले एडभोकेसी रोज्नुभयो, यानी कि लयरिङ रोज्नुभयो भने, तपाई हार्नुभयो भने पनि तपाईको फी सुरक्षित छ, तपाई जित्नुभयो भने पनि तपाईको फी सुरक्षित छ। लयर जस्तो यो भन्दा ठुलो अवसर, यो भन्दा राम्रो अवसर के हुन सक्छ? त्यसकारणले the field of law is really broad. It's very important for the society because you can reform the society, you can change the society, you can work for the society, you can lead the social movements. That is why you have chosen you have made the right decision to be the student of law. You are in process of being the student of law, but that is your best decision. अब अर्को कुरा, एउटा अर्को कुरा पनि यहाँहरुलाई म भन्छु, जेरेमी बेन्थाम, जसको नाम चाहिँ तपाईहरुले अब फर्मल क्लास सुरु भएपछि हाम्रो विद्यार्थी साथीहरुले चाहिँ रिपिटेडली सुन्नुहुन्छ। जेरेमी बेन्थाम उहाँले भन्नु भएको छ, जस्तो हामीलाई कुनै कानुनको बारेमा जानकारी भएन, हामी भन्छौं नि एउटा कानुनको सामान्य सिद्धान्त कि ignorance of law is no excuse. Means you have no knowledge regarding law, you have no information about the law, you do not know the law, you are claiming that you do not know the law. जेसुकै भए पनि तपाईले चाहिँ एक्सक्युज पाउनुहुन्न। तर लयर यस्तो मान्छे हो, उले इग्नोरेन्स अफ लको सट्टामा पनि एक्सक्युज पाउँछ आफ्नो प्रोफेसनको दौरानमा। जब वो प्रोफेसनको क्रममा हुन्छ, कसैको पक्षमा क्लाइन्टको पक्षमा काम गरिरहेको हुन्छ। एउटा यस्तो पार्टी हो जसले चाहिँ इग्नोरेन्स अफ लमा पनि एक्सक्युज पाउँछ, यानि कि पनिस हुँदैन उसलाई। अब यति धेरै प्रिभिलेज पनि तपाईँहरूले इन्जोय गर्नुहुन्छ जब चाहिँ एउटा ल सब्जेक्ट पढेर बिएलएलबी गरेर एडभोकेटको लाइसेन्स प्राप्त गरेर तपाईँ चाहिँ लयर बन्नुहुन्छ। यी यावत अवसरहरू चाहिँ यहाँहरूसँग उपलब्ध छन्। त्यसै गरी हजारौँ मान्छे मानौ कि हजारौँ गनहरू बोकेर आइरहेका छ। हजारौँ गनलाई निस्तेज पार्ने एउटा लयरको लजिक हुनसक्छ। किन? जब हजारौँ गन बोकेर कसैको हत्या गर्ने, लड्ने, काट्ने, मार्ने, हिंसा मचाउने जुन एउटा ग्रुप छ कोर्टमा पुग्छ, कोर्टमा पुगेपछि उसको हतियारको ताकत, उसको चाहिँ इलिगल फोर्सको ताकत त कम भइसकेको हुन्छ, कमभन्दा पनि निस्तेज भइसकेको हुन्छ। त्यहाँ इन्ट्री नै गर्न पाउँदैन। अब त्यहाँ लजिकको कुरा हुन्छ, त्यहाँ लको कुरा हुन्छ। त्यहाँ चाहिँ लयरको एउटा लजिकले, लयरले कोट गरेको एउटा आर्टिकलले, लयरले कोट गरेको एउटा सेक्सनले उसलाई चाहिँ कष्ट थुनामा पुर्याइन सक्छ, जेलमा पुर्याइन सक्छ। त्यो भनेको लयरको ताकत हो। यी सामान्य कुराहरू छन् सुन्दाखेरि, तर जब हामी प्र्याक्टिसमा आउँछौँ, जब हामी रियली फ्लोरमा आउँछौँ, तब हामी यति धेरै प्रिभिलेजहरू, यति धेरै हाम्रो अधिकारहरू, यति धेरै हाम्रा क्षमताहरू हामी चाहिँ त्यहाँ चाहिँ एक्सप्यान्ड गर्ने अवसर पनि पाउँछौँ, यसलाई प्रयोग गर्ने अवसर पनि पाउँछौँ। यसकारण यो फिल्ड एकदमै उत्तम, एकदमै महत्त्वपूर्ण छ, एकदमै ब्रोडर पनि छ भनेर चाहिँ म यहाँहरूमा चाहिँ निवेदन गर्छु। यो कुराहरू छ। अब यहाँलाई म धेरै समय लिन चाहँदैन, किनभने हाम्रो आदरणीय सरले धेरै कुरा प्रस्तुत गरिसक्नु भएको छ। त्यसै गरी अब पनि साथीहरूले के कुरा राख्नुहुन्छ। म यति मात्रै भन्छु कि गभर्मेन्ट सर्भिसमा आउनको लागि पनि आज नेपालको, इफ यु एनालाइज द प्रेजेन्ट कन्टेक्स्ट अफ नेपाल, देयर आर हाई चान्सेस अफ इनरोलमेन्ट इन द गभर्मेन्ट सर्भिस when you enter to the legal service or judicial service। त्यहाँबाट एकदमै राम्रो अवसरहरू छ। किनभने जति तपाईँको प्रशासनमा भ्याकेन्सिजहरू खुल्छ त्यति र त्योभन्दा अझै बढी लिगल सर्भिसमा खुलिरहेका छ, जहाँ चाहिँ ल नपढेको मान्छेले कम्पिट गर्न पाउँदैन। तर तपाईँले ल पढ्नु भएको छ, तपाईँ प्रशासनमा पनि जान पाउनुहुन्छ, फरेन सर्भिसमा पनि दिन पाउनुहुन्छ, अरूमा पनि दिन पाउनुहुन्छ, एक्सेप्ट तपाईँको हाम्रो लेखा परीक्षणमा यानि कि अडिटिङको उसमा र अकाउन्ट अफिसरमा चाहिँ दिन पाउनुहुन्न। त्यो चाहिँ हाम्रो लिमिटेसन रह्यो। हामीलाई यति धेरै अवसरहरू छन् र म अब धेरै समय लिँदैन। अब यहाँ स्कलरहरूको नाम लिएर त्यो पनि केही पनि हाम्रो काम छैन हैन। एउटा जापानिज प्रोभर्ब छ, ओन्ली लयर्स एन्ड पेन्टर्स क्यान टर्न व्हाइट टु ब्ल्याक। हाम्रो लयर र पेन्टरले मात्रै सेतोलाई कालो बनाउन सक्छ है। यो भनेको फेरि त्यही हो, लको ताकत हो। यो भनेको तपाईँको लजिकको ताकत हो। जस्तो आजको दिनमा यदि कुनै लयरले म चाहिँ फेरि कानुन मात्रै पढेर, यो लको आर्टिकल्सहरू मात्रै पढेर म चाहिँ सबैलाई जित्छु, मेरो चाहिँ मैले कोर्टमा लिने चाहिँ लजिक बेस्ट हो भनेर दाबी गर्छ भने त्यो त्यति स्ट्रेन्थफुल चाहिँ लजिक नहुन सक्छ। किनभने हाम्रो ओलिभर वेन्डल होल्म्सले भन्नुभएको छ, दि ब्ल्याक लेटर सोज म्यान एज द म्यान अफ प्रेजेन्ट, द म्यान अफ फ्युचर इज म्यान अफ स्ट्याटिस्टिक्स एन्ड मास्टर अफ इकोनोमिक्स। यानि कि तपाईँले इकोनोमिक्सदेखि लिएर स्ट्याटिस्टिक्ससम्मका कुराहरू जान्नुपर्ने भयो। अघि हाम्रो सिलवाल सरले अघि कुराहरू प्रेजेन्ट गर्नुभएको थियो। जस्तो तपाईँ कुनै कुराको कुनै क्वेसनको एन्सर दिँदै हुनुहुन्छ भने त्यसलाई सपोर्ट गर्ने तपाईँसँग फ्याक्ट छ भने चाहिँ त्यो चाहिँ एन्सर चाहिँ वेटी मानिन्छ। जस्तो कि नेपालमा क्राइम बढ्दैछ भनेर भनेपछि तपाईँ कुनै होला कि ल मिनिस्ट्रीले होला मिनिस्ट्री अफ होम एफेयर्सले होला क्राइम बढ्दैछ भने तपाईँ मानौँ हाम्रो सुइसाइडको डेटा प्रेजेन्ट गर्नुहुन्छ गभर्मेन्टको कुनै एजेन्सीको, कुनै डिपार्टमेन्टको, कुनै मिनिस्ट्रीको भनेपछि त्यो तपाईँको स्ट्रङ एन्सर हो। तपाईँ त्यत्तिकै होइन यस्तो छ भनेर यस्तो छ त सबैले भन्दछ, रामले पनि भन्छ हियर्स एभिडेन्स इज नो एभिडेन्स भने जस्तै हो। यस्तो छ भनेर कोही पनि मान्नेवाला छैन। माने पनि त्यो चाहिँ त्यति स्ट्रेन्थ भएको कुरा चाहिँ होइन। त्यस कारणले गर्दा लको मान्छेले हाम्रो इकोनोमिक्स, सोसियोलोजी, स्ट्याटिस्टिक्स, त्यसै गरी हाम्रो फिलोसोफी त लको चाहिँ फाउन्डेसन नै हो। हामी भन्छौँ नि जुरिस्प्रुडेन्स द फिलोसोफी अफ ल, फिलोसोफी अफ ल भन्नुहुन्छ। फिलोसोफी भनेको दर्शन, दर्शन भनेको जब तपाईँ पढ्नुहुन्छ सिक्नुहुन्छ त्यसले तपाईँलाई लाइट दिन्छ, उज्यालो दिन्छ। जस्तो एउटा डार्क कुरा छ त्यसमा लाइट हाल्नुभयो भने तपाईँलाई बडो मजा लाग्छ नि हेर्न पनि, त्यसै हो। कुनै कुरो अनक्लियर छैन त्यसमा लाइट हाल्नुभयो भनेपछि त्यो तपाईँले क्लियर हुन्छ। यस्ता सिम्पल हामीले सुन्दै आएका अप्ठ्यारो किसिमले प्रेजेन्ट गरिएका तर सजिला कुराहरू छन्। मैले आजको प्रस्तुतिमा चाहिँ यहाँ चाहिँ धेरै कुरा भन्नुभन्दा पनि यति नै कुराहरू राख्छु। अब केही थप कुराहरू साथीहरूबाट आउँछन् होला। थ्याङ्क यू डिजिओर इन्स्टिट्युट फर दिस अपर्च्युनिटी।
थ्याङ्क यू दाई। दाई एकदम शालीनताको प्रतीक हुनुहुन्छ, एकदम सफ्ट बोल्नुहुन्छ, एकदम इम्प्रेसिभ वेमा इन्फ्लुएन्सिङ वेमा बोल्नुहुन्छ। पोहोर साल यही समयमा ठ्याक्क सरकारी सेवामा प्रवेश गर्दै हुन्थ्यो, अहिले त अलि दक्ष पनि भइसक्नुभयो, अलि अझै धेरै म्याच्योर भइसक्नुभयो। हामी कानुनी शिक्षाको शैशवकालमा छौँ भने हामी दाईहरू सरहरूबाट चाहिँ जो वयस्क अवस्थामा हुनुहुन्छ, कानुनी शिक्षाको कानुनी सेवाको वयस्क अवस्थामा हुनुहुन्छ, उहाँहरूबाट हामी सिक्ने क्रममै छौँ र सिकाइको क्रममा हाम्रो टाइम लिमिट पनि छ, हामी अघि बढ्दै पनि छौँ र म ढिलो नगरिकन अपेक्षा निरौला दिदीलाई बोलाउन चाहन्छु। उहाँले चाहिँ कानुनी शिक्षा किन आवश्यक छ र आफ्नो अनुभव पनि भन्नुहुनेछ। टाइम चाहिँ हाम्रो 8 देखि 10 मिनट पहिल्यै जानकारी पनि छ। स्विट सर्ट एन्ड स्विट भन्छ नि, चटनी जस्तो भयो भनेदेखि झनै राम्रो होला कि जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई चाहिँ। अपेक्षा निरौला दिदी, द फ्लोर इज योर्स।
र अन्तमा यो भिडियो हेरिसकेपछि हजुरहरूले बिएलएलबी कस्तो कोर्स हो र यो अध्ययन पश्चात के कुराहरूमा हाम्रो भविष्य खोल्छ, ढोका खोल्छ भन्ने बारेमा हजुरहरूले जानकारी लिनुभएको होला। यो भर्चुअल ओरिएन्टेसन एन्ड क्यारियर काउन्सिलिङ जुम क्लास मार्फत सम्पन्न गरिएको थियो। यसमा नेपालकै ख्यातिप्राप्त सर एवं अधिवक्ताहरूले भाइ बहिनीहरूसँग भर्चुअल क्लास मार्फत आफ्ना कुराहरू व्यक्त राख्नुभएको थियो। त्यसका लागि उहाँहरूलाई पनि विशेष आभार व्यक्त गर्न चाहन्छु। र यदि हजुर नयाँ हुनुहुन्छ र अहिलेसम्म पनि कानुन सारथी युट्युब च्यानल सब्सक्राइब गर्नुभएको छैन भने कृपया सब्सक्राइब गरिदिनु होला र साथै बेल आइकन पनि दबाइदिनु होला, ताकि आगामी दिनहरूमा कानुन सारथी युट्युब च्यानलले अपलोड गरेको भिडियोहरू हजुरहरूले नोटिफिकेसन मार्फत प्राप्त गर्न सक्नुहुनेछ। र साथै आगामी दिनहरूमा हजुरहरू कस्तो खालको भिडियोहरू सामग्रीहरू हेर्न चाहनुहुन्छ सो बारेमा पनि कमेन्ट गरिदिनु होला।